Today's video is about a captain and his ship getting hijacked. The story is not a true story, but this has happened where many people are out in their yachts and islands off certain coasts of Africa and certain areas of Africa, and their ship or yacht gets hijacked, pirates. But anyway, hopefully you guys will enjoy this story today. And I know I did when I made it. And hopefully you guys enjoy this.
Title: The Captain's Redemption. Part 1: The Serene Voyage. In the azure waters of the Mediterranean, a magnificent yacht named Serendipity sailed gracefully, carrying the adventurous spirit of Captain Alexander Blake. A man with a heart as vast as the ocean, Captain Blake had spent years exploring the world's most exotic places. His latest journey, however, was about to become the most perilous of all. One moonlit night, as the stars adorned the sky, four sinister figures emerged from the shadows and stealthily boarded the Serendipity. Led by a man with a scarred face, known only as Silas, the kidnappers had a sinister motive. They aimed to abduct the wealthy captain and hold him for ransom, demanding a fortune from his family. Silas and his accomplices managed to capture Captain Blake without alerting the crew. When the captain's loyal first mate, Jacob, discovered the situation, it was too late. They had vanished, leaving no trace of their sinister deed. Part 2: The Desperate Plea. Back on land, at the Blake family estate, Captain Blake's wife, Elizabeth, a woman of strength and resilience, woke up to the startling news of her husband's kidnapping. Panic gripped her heart, but she refused to be defeated. She immediately contacted her two grown children, Charlotte and William, and shared the distressing news. Determined to rescue their father, the siblings sought help from a trusted family friend, Captain Frederick Reynolds, a retired naval officer. Together, they hatched a plan to confront the kidnappers and bring their father back safely. They gathered resources and navigational charts, knowing that time was of the essence. Part 3: A Race Against Time. Captain Blake, held captive on a remote island, did not cower in fear. Instead, he used his wit and charisma to probe the minds of his captors. Silas, though seemingly ruthless, bore a burden of regret for his past misdeeds. The captain's words awakened a sliver of humanity within him, planting seeds of doubt about the choices he had made. Meanwhile, the Blake family, accompanied by Captain Reynolds, set sail on a swift vessel determined to locate the island where Captain Blake was held captive. As they journeyed, they encountered treacherous storms and hidden dangers of the sea, testing their courage and resolve. But their determination never wavered. Part 4: A Captive's Tale. In the dark recesses of the night, Captain Blake listened intently to Silas's tales of regret and lost dreams. He recognized the remnants of a good man, buried beneath layers of bitterness and despair. The captain shared stories of his own life, revealing the beauty and freedom he had found in the vastness of the ocean. As days turned to weeks, Silas's demeanor softened, and the once formidable kidnapper began to question his actions. The bond between captor and captive grew, and Captain Blake held onto the hope that redemption was within reach. Part 5: A Tense Reunion. On a stormy evening, the Blake family's vessel finally approached the island where Captain Blake was held. Silas and his accomplices had grown complacent, unaware of the impending danger that lurked in the horizon. Under the cover of darkness, Charlotte and William, accompanied by Captain Reynolds and a handful of skilled crew members, stealthily disembarked. They devised a meticulous plan to catch the kidnappers off guard. As the sun rose over the island, the captors discovered the intruders. A tense standoff ensued, and Captain Blake pleaded with Silas to abandon his path of darkness and seek redemption. The once callous kidnapper hesitated, torn between his past and the possibility of a different future. Part 6. Redemption and Freedom. In the midst of the confrontation, Silas' accomplices, recognizing the futility of their actions, chose to abandon their leader and seek their own redemption. Captain Blake's words had touched their hearts, and they yearned for a chance to make amends for their wrongdoing. Silas, torn between loyalty to his past and the glimmer of hope the captain offered, ultimately made a brave decision. He chose to break free from the chains of his dark past and surrender to the authorities. With the rescue mission successful, the Blake family and their companions sailed back towards their home. Captain Blake was reunited with his family, and Silas began a journey towards redemption and rehabilitation. Part 7. A New Beginning. Back at the Blake family estate, Silas was placed under the custody of authorities, while his fate was determined. The family, though traumatized by the events, chose not to harbor ill will towards their captor. Instead, they hoped that Silas would find the path to redemption and a new beginning. Over time, Captain Blake and Silas corresponded through letters. The captain shared tales of his voyages, and Silas expressed his remorse and yearning for change. As the seasons passed, Silas underwent rehabilitation, learning skills that would enable him to make an honest living. A year after the events of the kidnapping, Silas was released, having served his sentence for his crimes. The Blake family, in a remarkable display of forgiveness, offered him a job at their estate. They believed in his transformation and wanted to give him a chance to rebuild his life. Silas worked diligently, cherishing the opportunity to change the trajectory of his life. With time, trust was built, and the Blakes became like a second family to him. Silas found purpose and redemption in the kindness they showed him. As for Captain Alexander Blake, the experience had deepened his connection with his family and strengthened his resolve to use his wealth for good. Together, they established a foundation that supported education, rehabilitation, and second chances for those in need. In the end, the kidnapping, though a harrowing ordeal, became a catalyst for a chain of events that led to redemption, forgiveness, and the rekindling of hope. The Serendipity sailed on, not just as a vessel of adventure, but as a symbol of the power of compassion and second chances, a beacon of light in the vastness of the sea. Hope you enjoyed this.
Hopefully everybody enjoyed this. This is something I put together and hopefully enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of a neat story. God bless everybody, and thank you so much for always watching.